Hey there, StarCraft fans. It's Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Come back here, Mouse. We need you for a minute. And it's going to be another game here between Stork and Shinee. Bottom left-hand corner is going to be the orange Protoss player Stork. And in the bottom right-hand corner is the Teal Terran player Shinee. I cast a game between these two players back in December of 2018. Those of you who remember it was a very excellent, very interesting PvT as well. If you haven't watched it, I might put a link to it in the description or in a card up here. Do you guys even see cards? There aren't many clicks on them, so I don't know if they just don't show up, like if ad blockers kill them, or maybe it's just a result of people seeing them and just not being interested enough to click. But anyway, if you want to see it, I guess just search Stork on my channel or Shinee, S-H-I-N-E-E, and you'll find them. Anyway, it's a PvT. I feel like we haven't had one of these in a bit on the channel. I am trying to make these happen. Oh, by the way, those of you who do like the mirror matchups, those of you who want to see ZVZs, which I don't post hardly at all, I have. I just don't post them very often. I will go ahead and be casting some Jaedong ZVZs coming up in the next week or so, week or 10 days. So watch out for those if you're interested in the mirror matchups. I've done some PvPs in the past, some TBTs too. I think TBT might be my favorite mirror matchup in Brood War to cast. So we'll see how that works out. Anyway, there is your gateway. Both players are scouting here. And yep, they're going to throw up your barracks at this really wide area to wall off. It's very difficult to wall, but it's totally doable here. If you're worried about charge lot attacks, you definitely want to be walling. If you're worried about Dragoon attacks, maybe you don't necessarily want to be quite walling as much. But still, you want the wall just in case the Zealots exist, and you can't really stop the Protoss player from making them anyway. Alright, so what are we going to do here? The opening for our Protoss is definitely scouting. He's trying to find a Terran opponent. Can't quite pull that off, sadly for him. And first Zealot is on the way here from Stork, so he's going to plan to do something about this. At least be a little tiny bit aggressive. I lose what it is when I click off. I mean, we have seen Bisu do this in PvZs, where he actually does send a ton of Zealots across the map against a Zerg, and they just can't handle it. I mean, it's basically a Link Flood versus a Zerg, right? The Zealots are just basically 4 Zerglings. That's effectively what it is. They cost that much. They hit harder from a smaller space, and that's the trade-off for them being small or slower, rather. That's your efficiency there. All right, so Zealot heading out across the map here. Got ourselves additional Zealots on the way. I can't imagine this is just dedicated Zealot pressure. But maybe it's something Stork wants to try to do here. Maybe he wants to try to kill Shinee before he gets into that huge mech army that Terran players are capable of doing. Anyway, it's just Marines at this stage, and Marines take a long time to kill Zealots. I can tell you that much. Dude, kill the SCV building this command center. Why are you getting any shots off on the barracks, good friend? I don't understand it at all. Honestly, there's a probe here messing with stuff too. Another Zealot is going to show up any second now. A lot of SCVs pulled off the line to deal with this one. I can tell you that much. Rot, ring around the rosy. We're faster. We are faster than these guys. Let's get up some health bars on them. Takes actually several shots to kill an SCV. So, I mean, the SCVs are a good answer here. Moving this wounded guy over to deal with the weakened guys, and the healthy Zealot up here fighting here too. It's just basically forcing Shinee to fight and to micro his face off and delaying his natural by quite a bit. Dang, son. That is amazing stuff right now. This Zealot is doing work. He's got 2 kills, not too shabby. The other one I think wandered over and got killed by SCVs, which is too bad for him. That is not a very noble death. Oh, he got another kill though before the SCVs could take him down. That's pretty awesome stuff. Another Zealot is on the way. I wonder if Shinee feels like he's safe. He's got a couple Marines here, which is usually enough to deal with this. All right, so Marine takes that guy out. New healthy Zealot shows up. The Marines can squeak through there, but Zealots can't. So that's exactly why they're heading up on that way. And the Zealot just really scouting around. I don't think he's trying to do much of anything here. His expansion is done, is the good thing for him. I mean, Shinee's is done too, so it's not too far delayed. But I want to say he delayed the expansion of the Terran player by quite a bit there. Enough to slow him down. Oh, anyway. All right, man. The Marines are fighting. Good micro. Good micro there. Not the best micro out of Shinee in the entire world, but there's other stuff going on. You can't just focus all of your micro in one particular place for that long. You got to be continually making SCVs. Got to continually be making factories. That's your first fact, and he's floating the barracks, which tells you we are absolutely... Hang on. He's stopped floating the barracks, which I find very odd indeed. This bunker needs to... The Marines are like, bunker, finish construction, please. Ah, yeah. One gets in. Get some extra shots off there, but you can't chase while you're in a bunker. You're safe, but you are stuck, is what you are. Vulture production has begun from Shinee, so he should be just fine here. Once the vultures show up to deal with these guys, vultures with that both explosive damage versus our friendly light units here, like zealots are. Zealot hoofing it. Rawr. Are you actually not going to get another kill? At the very least, he paused construction on an armory for like 10 seconds. Not too shabby, but yeah, man. Vulture, a lot of damage being taken off that health pool every single time. Dragoons have now arrived. Does he have Singularity Charge? He does not have Singularity Charge at all, but he will. He will very shortly here. He's going for a Stargate too. And yeah, man, I don't... God, such great control. Not enough to kill the guy, but wounds him immensely. And there's another Dragoon on the way, right? Yeah, there's more Dragoons coming, so that Vulture can't do anything. He's stuck. He was planning on harassing, but he's got so few hit points he can't. Maybe going to scout around. All he's trying to do right now is stay alive. More than anything else. Trying to get... Come on. That Singularity Charge is almost done. We've seen this a bunch of times, and there it is. Okay, so we've got 2 Dragoons hitting. This necessitates a pulling of the SCVs to stay alive here. That's exactly what Shinee is working on. He's staying alive. The Dragoon did take down our friendly neighborhood Vulture over there. And yeah, man, tank's out. A couple shots on the tank. Just trying to injure it. Taking some shots there, too. Not a big deal. Didn't lose any of the Dragoons in the process. So that's exactly what you want to do. The SCVs come back around to repair this bunker. This is a lot of lost mining time, and this is a lot of lost resources, too. Tanks do have siege mode now. And that is the cue for the Dragoons to get the heck on out of there. Charon booster upgrade on the way. Getting Goliath. A little bit early on the Goliath play, but you know what? I guess in fact, there's a Stargate. So if you know there's a Stargate, Goliaths cannot be too early here from Shinee. Alright, so Dragoons are going to be the backbone of Stork's army here. And the PvT that we saw PvT between Flash and Light. Now, I don't know if it was Light the Terran player playing Protoss or Light the Terran, different Light player. I searched Liquipedia, couldn't find another Light player who plays Protoss. At least not at a level that can take down, or that can actually compete with Flash. Anywho, oh my gosh, it's a carrier rush. It is a carrier rush from Stork. Double pumping carriers. That's why Charon Booster got started. That's why we are seeing the Goliaths early at the 7-minute mark. Because you're going to need those suckers sooner rather than later. All right, man. The break at the front here from Stork is real. He's trying to get on top of this bunker and kill it before... There we go. Can't repair it. Not going to happen. Breaks down the bunker, and then there are 3 tanks back here. A little bit scary. A little bit scary to walk in with just this number of Dragoons. I think that's 7 of them or so. Stork's got a 3rd base up along this left side. Yeah, man. Working on that carrier capacity. Stork's going to have a lot of carriers very, very soon here, but he's kind of forcing Shinee to make ground units here. Oh my gosh, he's not making Goliaths, you guys. He's making tanks and he's making Vultures. And is he being caught by surprise by this? I think he doesn't have any idea this is on its way. He doesn't know there are carriers in production, you guys. Holy crap, he's going to be in a lot of trouble. He's going for Spider Mines. Oh, actually making a Wraith. Maybe? I mean, I have heard a lot of calls in the comments for the Terran players to make Wraiths, as they're pretty good at chasing down and taking down carriers that have been in the midst of battle and lost all their interceptors, and really not bad at just hitting them in general in straight up battle. So very interesting. So very interesting here. All right, man. So it's a lot of Vultures on the ground. It's a lot of tanks. We got 1 Goliath at a time, now making 2 Wraiths at a time. So this could be interesting out of Shinee. I'm liking this. I'm liking this quite a bit here. Vulture's cruising up to the 3rd base of Stork. There's no defense here at all, except for the wall. We have our friendly wall of pylons there for that extreme purpose of keeping Vultures out of there. And going for Wraith Cloak. Holy crap. I just realized, does Stork have detection at all? Oh, no. I don't think he has detection at all. He doesn't have a robotics facility. He doesn't have an observatory, obviously. He doesn't have a forge, so he can't even make cannons. He's skipping detection. And suddenly, Cloaked Wraiths are going to be really, really good. Where are they? I haven't even seen them on the map yet. Are they hiding? I'll bet they're hiding. They are. They're hiding over here. There's 4 of them, with 2 more on the way. He's going to try to come in here with Cloaked Wraiths and ruin Stork's day. Tell me he's working on detection. Tell me he's not... Okay, robotics facility warping in. It is almost done, but then he needs an observatory, and then he needs an observer. Oh my gosh, these carriers are in so much trouble, just as emergency units here. I think the Wraiths are accidentally going to be useful in this situation. I don't think Shinee anticipated he would need them versus these carriers. But in a situation where he doesn't have much anti-air, cloaked Wraiths are going to be amazing. All right, well, you guys are in trouble. Tank count might start plummeting a bit here. But look, the cloaked Wraiths come in entirely unopposed and just wipe out the carriers. That was amazing. Observatory halfway complete. Wraiths on their way to just destroy everything that Stork has and holds dear. How much stuff can you kill is the question of the day. What are you going after? Oh, he's trying to kill the observatory. That's an interesting decision. I mean, I guess that... Alright, so you're cloaked, and you kill the observatory, and then there's a scan, and you kill the one observer that comes out. Maybe. And then that's it. Dude, so much trouble. There's an attack up here with Vultures versus Zealots. Never good for the Zealots. This is looking amazing right now for Shinee. Unorthodox for sure with the cloaked Wraiths, but by golly, I think it's going to work. He's trying... No, the Wraith, their anti-air attack is not good enough. They're fighting against these carriers. They don't have many interceptors, and the carriers are just getting slaughtered. Being slaughtered by these Wraiths. The anti-air of Wraiths is absolutely no joke whatsoever. We got Vultures cruising on in, trying to get rid of a lot of these probes. Dragoons are just running on in here to try to save the day. 112 to 96 supply in favor of Stork, but I really feel like Shinee's done more damage overall here. He's got a big ground army. He's really whittled down that carrier group, and there's not much else here for Stork to try and save the day. Throwing down spider mines right at the front door of the Protoss player, which is just mean. And there we go. Tanks are here. Dragoons. No upgrades on these Dragoons at all. It's all +1 tanks for days. Not much anti-air for the carriers, though. I'm not sure where the Wraiths went. I don't think they all died. I'm pretty sure they got out of there, but they'd be nice in this situation. So, yeah, these carriers are entirely unopposed. They are what are allowing Stork to survive here. Here they are. Here come the Wraiths from the bottom. I see them. I see them on the minimap. Getting the observer, nice pick off. Getting the other observer, nice pick off. And then going after our friendly neighborhood carriers who have just been destroying. 3 kills on him. And 3 kills on the other one. 2 kills on the other one. But running for home, just woof. That's not even that many Wraiths. That's 2. That is 2 Wraiths. Just absolutely crushing that carrier. Their anti-air capabilities are legendary. All right, man. It's going to be more Goliaths. I thought he was researching Charon Booster. Wasn't he already researching Charon Booster? I swear Monkey was. I mean, Shinee. Not Monkey King, which is a great name. And I kind of wish his name really was Monkey King. It's just, it's a silly name. Kind of enjoy it. Yeah, man. He's sticking with the Wraiths right now. He's like, you know what's working for me? Wraith. You know what's working for me? Getting a 3rd base behind Stork. I'm not sure about this. I think the Terran soundtrack is my favorite in StarCraft. It just takes me back to the days when it was new and it was shiny and it was exciting and it got my heart rate up. When I just played the campaign, when I was just playing through the first levels of original StarCraft back in '98, and just it was awesome. It brings back so many great memories. Even though I main Zerg and I like the Zerg race the best, I think the Terran soundtrack is the best one in Brood War for sure. Scouting Engineering Bay, here to provide some vision for these Goliaths and their Charon boosters. With their +1 attack, +2 attack is not on the way. We're spending that money on additional units, including Wraiths. I keep thinking this is an army, but it's just spider mines. That's all it is. Stork's 4th base is in a heap of trouble. Goodbye, Stork's 4th base. Fare thee well. Dragoons fighting against the spider mines to clear them out, to come up and try to save this thing, but like I said, Vultures are terrible against buildings, but if you have 4 of them and they have upgrades and they have an Eternity, they will take down a Nexus. Carriers trying to save it. Where are you at, Nexus? 100 hit points, and I think it's going to be saved. Carriers show up just in time. Nexus is really, really vulnerable, though. I don't know. I don't know about it. I don't know about surviving much longer. 135 to 127 supply. Ground units still have no upgrades for Stork. Air units, where's my carrier group at? Where are you guys? Down here. Air units have +2, which is great. Working on +1 ground, so that's going to be in the works here for just a bit here. And look at this messed up texture. There's a hard line right there for some reason. It makes it look like this whole thing got shifted up a bit. And I don't know why. Somebody asked me why there's weird textures in here, and I have no answer. If you guys know, let me know in the comments. We'll discuss it. And we can tell people what's going on. Because I have no answers at all. All right, man. This is looking interesting. I mean, generally, people do say that Terran is a little bit favored in TVP, especially because of the tanks, which is why some Protoss will go for carriers, because tanks aren't a problem if you got carriers. But then again, the Goliaths are pretty amazing depending on how they are used, right? And depending on how the carriers are used, too. If the carriers can sit up here on high ground and dead airspace, where that's another hard line right here. What is this? It's freaking me out. I don't think I like it very much. All right, man. So Dragoons fighting on in. Carriers coming to the backside to slow down that gas income for Shinee. But that is so many Goliaths. Just zoof. I mean, attacking interceptors for the most part here, not really getting any shots off on the carrier bodies, because that's what I was talking about is if the carriers can sit back here where the Goliaths can't hit them and attack from over this weird demarcation line, they're going to be a lot more effective. That's something we've seen Rain do. That's something we've seen Snow do on the channel before with carriers versus Terran. Stork does manage to sneak a little attack of. Are these +1ers? These are +1 Dragoons and Zealots. The Vultures are the first on the scene, but they're completely outclassed by these Dragoons. The SCVs are trying to fight with this, trying to get some Spider Mines down and help even the odds a little bit here at the very least. But this is going to be a lot of dead SCVs pulling back. The carriers don't like what they see there with a number of Goliaths on the board here. I'm not sure about this position for fighting. But you know what? Maybe that wasn't enough high ground. That wasn't enough for the Goliaths to where they didn't want to chase on in. So the Dragoons killing a ton of SCVs. Shutting down that base entirely. Are they needed for this fight? I mean, I'd rather wipe out that income of Shinies, but guess who's here? The Wraiths. The Wraiths, the Cloaked Wraiths are present, and now they are detected. And they are getting the heck on out of there. There are 6 of them with Dragoons on the ground and with +2 carriers in the sky. That's not a good fight for them. Not for 4. Not for 4 Wraiths. Anyway, yeah, man. Shiny's actually in a ton of trouble. He's losing his only other source of income. His main base is effectively mined out. I mean, we're looking at not many minerals on these patches at all. He lost entirely at his third. He's coming up to try to save it with some of his army units, but Stork is happily on 4 bases compared to the 1.5 that Shinee is running with, and so far so good. I'd say these carriers have paid for themselves. They've done pretty well. Again, the Wraiths wrecked them once or twice, but getting that group back up for Stork has been a little bit easier than I thought it was going to be. Is Stork trying to expand up here? I think he's trying to expand here, and there is a Spider Mine in the way. Ah, what a jerk. What a jerk that Spider Mine is. 166 to 139 supply. Stork is up. Stork is happy. Stork is, I think, in command and control of this game. I mean, sure, this is a pretty intimidating army of mech, which in a straight-up battle, Stork does not want to engage here. He needs the carriers if he's going to try to do that, but I think wandering over this way and getting up that ramp and causing some problems for Shinee would be enough to win the game. However, Shinee is setting up his army in a position to shut that down quite nicely, and Stork is forced to retreat. And +2, +1 on these mech units, and only +1 on the Dragoons. This is not going to go well for them at all. Too many tanks on the ground. You can't walk into their Stork. What you doing? What are you doing, friend? A Zealot wanders and absorbs some Spider Mine shots and gets obliterated, as you do versus Spider Mines. 156 to 152 supply. Again, Stork has the better income. I mean, Shiny's back on that third base. So he's looking all right. He's looking okay. He can be more cost efficient with his army, with these ground units. Oh, my goodness. All of the tanks, all of these Goliaths right now. The Dragoons need to get in there once the tanks are dead, but it's hard to get the tanks dead when there are so many Goliaths present. Yeah, man, Shinee's pushing in. He's got his traditional army here with a sprinkling handful of wraiths. The carriers are trying to fight. They keep losing interceptors, though. That's a lot of dead interceptors, man. A lot of them. You know what? He's trading pretty well here. I'm kind of surprised. Yeah, just trying to get up here. Oh, Stork gets up with the counterattack into the third base of Shinee. He's going to wreck that. Now, this battle looking like it's pretty darn well won here from Shinee, but the problem is his income's in a ton of trouble here, too. He is losing SCVs like it's going out of style. Sure. Is this actually the third? This is actually the third, but it's no gas, which is a bit of a problem. You know what? He's got enough Dragoons to fight through this tier 2. So Stork losing his own natural base to this fight, but actually crushing on in over here on the right side, winning that battle handily, winning this battle at the 4th base handily. 4 kills on that Zealot, 3 kills on this Dragoon, 134 to 115 supply. Is he going to lose this command center? My goodness, the army, they won the battle, but they lost 2 battles back home. That is not good math. That is bad math for Shinee for sure. And Stork, it looks like he might have been able to do this thing. He keeps losing stuff. And this base is being repaired, which is nice. And Stork has not been able to expand up there because he's spending money on defensive units for the most part here. But the 4th base is a ghost town for Shinee right now. 109 to 102 supply is pretty even that way, but I think the income is a lot healthier for our friendly... Oh, how the what? I don't know how that base died. We might rewind to figure that out. But yeah, man, our friendly neighborhood Zealot really should be attacking these SCVs before the army comes on up. The carriers fighting their way, picking off individual Goliaths, and just slowing down Shinee's army right now. This... I don't like overusing the epic tag, but I just feel like I've been casting a lot of epic games recently. This is coming down to the wire, you guys. This is not one player having a huge advantage over the other one. The DT tech switch. What? The DT tech switch. Here out of Stork. Who saw that coming? Not me. Someone who was watching the production tab a little bit more closely probably did. But guess what? Your base is in trouble. All your base are belong to us, says Stork. Gas gone. Is there anything in this? Just 144 gas in that Vespine Geyser. Not too shabby. How many Goliaths are here? I don't know, but they can't get direct shots on the carriers from this location. And as a result, they can kill interceptors, but that's going to be about it. And that's it. Shinee taps out. And Stork is your winner in 22 minutes and 29 seconds. We gotta go back. I'm sorry, we missed that. There was something what happened in the top left here, where this base died. I don't know when it was. And I don't know what it was. It's after 20 minutes? Oh, well, here we go. That would answer that question. Oh, that's funny. All right. So... Gotcha. So these tanks wandered up. La 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 la. Sure, these cannons shut down our vulture brethren, but we're doing just fine, thanks. So what killed them is what I want to know. What on earth wiped those guys out, or did they just leave and join up with their friends down here? Or did the probes fight them? Oh, DTs. This is where the DTs originally came from, and they saved everything else. Ah, okay, man. So Stork was in trouble. Stork was really effectively only on one mining base. He needed to get stuff done over here. And he did. And he absolutely did. Carriers on the left side, the small attacks on the right side here. Carriers being pretty smart with what they're doing. Yeah, and this position right here is just one that Shinee can't deal with. And he's done. All right, so I want to see what he has at this stage of the game, if what we can tell. Anyway, I think this is it. I think this is literally his entire army. Is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Goliaths, which do have pretty good upgrades, yes, but the carrier group themselves are 5, and a 5 to 8 situation is not going to be good for you, especially especially if you can't attack them directly in this area as you can't as a Goliath. So dang. Stork was replacing the space, which is really nice, and they still had the income here, which is excellent too. And this is still technically income for Shinee, but he lost everything on the right side. His main base was a ghost town. Good, scrappy back and forth TVP. That's what I like. That's what I like to see. That's what I like to cast. And let's check out that final score. Yeah, man, look how even that is. Both produced around 350 units, both killed around 200 units, but at that point, Shinee lost 285 to Stork's 206, raising 711 units buildings there respectively, and yeah, Stork getting that fourth base out fast. So ended up mining 1,000 more gas, ended up mining 5,000 more minerals, and 5,000 more spent overall. Was really enough. The carriers were fantastic. The Wraiths did their job early. That Wraith rush, I mean, it really feels to me like Shinee was intending to go for a cloaked Wraith rush. He didn't know there would be carriers coming, and the fact that he's able to wipe those first two out was just a major bonus for him, and not something he was expecting at all. So that was tons of fun. Tons of fun seeing Wraiths used, and sure, Shinee ended up losing, but I do like the potential of the Wraith. I feel like they did pretty well against the carriers, especially if they can snipe down those observers. They can really make themselves extremely useful. All right, cool. Well, that is going to be it from me. This has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Go ahead and hit that like button. Hit that subscribe. And if you like what you saw and what you heard today, you can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.